Hey, I'm from MemberStack here and welcome to MemberScript 197. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a multi-step form with progress tracking as well as form navigation like this. So if a user submits information, they can navigate to the next step. And they can also go back to the previous step and all of their information will still be visible. And then navigating back to the next step and then to the final step. And then they can submit the form as usual. All right, let me show you how to set all of this up inside of Webflow. In Webflow, you are going to need to add MemberScript 197 and it should look like this. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link to that code should be in the description below. And if you're watching this on the MemberStack site, then you should have already seen the code. You can either add this site-wide or on a specific page, depending on your specific use case. All right, now on the page, you are going to need a few elements in order to make this work. On the page, you are going to need to have a form element over here, and you're going to give that the attribute of data MS code multi-step form. Within the form, you will have another div, which will be your progress container, and you're going to give that the attribute of data MS code progress container. Within your progress container, you will now have your progress bar, which will have the attributes of data MS code progress bar, and then the style, which will be, the value will be progress width set to 33.3%. And then your indicators will have an overview attribute of data MS code progress indicators. And within that, the individual indicator will have the attribute of data MS code progress indicator. And now for your steps. So the steps do not have attributes, but they do have active states. And firstly, you will set the active state over here, and then you will style this active state. Once you style the active state, you can add the complete state to the first step. And then the next indicators will have MS progress pending. So you can also style the pending state. So the first step, you just have to make sure that it has all three classes. So it's MS step number, and then active, and then completed. And then the next step will just have MS step number, and then progress pending. Okay. For the form steps, you are going to have a number of divs for the amount of steps that you'll have within your form. So in this case, I have 3. And the first step will have the attribute of data MS code form step, same as the others, but the class will be applied of MS step active. And that's just to make sure that it is visible. So all the other steps over here will be set to display none, and they will also have the attribute of data MS code form step. Only the first step is set to display flex. Finally, you are going to have a few buttons to allow a user to navigate between steps. You're going to have a previous button, and that's going to have the attribute of data MS code previous step. And then the next button is going to have the attribute of data MS code next step. If I just show you how all the steps look like, set that to display flex. You can see that they're all stacked on top of each other, but the script handles the visibility of the different steps. And then at the very end of the form, you'll have a submit button. And this will just submit the form as usual with all of the user's information. Okay, if you have any questions on this, feel free to reach out in the Slack 2.0 channel. Bye.